Welcome everyone.
In this video, the NVIDIA stock is discussed. I describe what it does, what makes the company unique, who the customers and competitors are, and finally, I cover the numbers. The company NVIDIA and its related stock have grown significantly recently, and in my opinion, they are far from finished growing.
NVIDIA seems to be one of the first winners of the AI era.
Note, this video is not intended as financial advice but is purely informative and educational.
NVIDIA is a company that has had an impressive journey since its founding.
The story of NVIDIA begins in 1993, with three visionaries, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem.
These three engineers worked together at another company and saw the potential for faster graphics chips.
They noticed that existing computer chips were not powerful enough to handle the new, increasingly graphically intensive computer programs. They decided to start their own company, aiming to develop powerful and affordable graphics chips.
NVIDIA was born.
In the early years, the company focused mainly on the gaming market.
NVIDIA's first products revolutionized computer games by delivering unprecedented speed and graphical quality.
NVIDIA's first video cards were very popular among gamers.
But NVIDIA's success was not limited to the gaming world. As the years passed, the founders saw that NVIDIA's technology could also be applied in other sectors, such as science and design.
By constantly innovating, NVIDIA also developed products for other sectors, such as data centers and professional applications. In recent years, NVIDIA has become a key player in the world of artificial intelligence. Their graphics processors proved to be extremely suitable for training AI models.
This has given NVIDIA an edge in this rapidly growing market.
From a startup focused on gaming, NVIDIA is now an essential company for gaming, data centers, and artificial intelligence.
This is the result of visionary leadership, a focus on innovation, and NVIDIA's unique hardware architecture.
It is a success story that began with a small group of people with a vision and now helps shape the future of the computer industry. NVIDIA is a company that makes powerful chips. They are best known for their GPUs, or graphics processors. These chips were originally intended for gaming, and NVIDIA is still big in the gaming world with lightning-fast video cards. But NVIDIA does more than just gaming. They also supply chips for data centers, where many apps, websites, and AI systems run. And they are leading in artificial intelligence. Their chips are used for training AI models, in self-driving cars, and in medical applications. Their chips are therefore important for the future. In addition, NVIDIA also provides powerful hardware for professional applications, such as video and photo editing, scientific research, and architecture. In short, NVIDIA is a chipmaker that drives the world of gaming, AI, and professional applications with its powerful technology. From gaming to AI, NVIDIA is constantly evolving and is active in many important markets. NVIDIA is therefore much more than just a company that designs chips, it is a company that shapes the technology of the future.
Let's now look at what makes NVIDIA unique and what the advantages are compared to the competition. NVIDIA is a pioneer in GPU technology, the graphics processors that are crucial for high-performance computing.
NVIDIA is also a leader in artificial intelligence, with their GPUs being used to train AI models. An important advantage is the strong software ecosystem. NVIDIA has developed an ecosystem that locks in developers with tools like CUDA. The integration of hardware and software is also important, giving NVIDIA more control over the performance of their products.
NVIDIA is also a major player in data centers, for cloud computing and AI.
The company invests heavily in R&D to stay ahead of technological developments, and they have a strong brand reputation, especially in the gaming community. Finally, NVIDIA is also successful in diversifying from gaming to other markets, such as AI and automotive. In short, NVIDIA has an edge due to their pioneering position in GPUs, leadership in AI, their software ecosystem, focus on R&D, strong brand, and diversification.
This makes NVIDIA a unique player in the market.
Let's now look at who NVIDIA's customers are and in which sectors NVIDIA is active.
NVIDIA has a very diverse customer base. A large part of the customers comes from the gaming industry.
NVIDIA supplies GPUs to millions of PC gamers, but also to console manufacturers and cloud gaming services such as Google Stadia, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and Microsoft Xbox Cloud Gaming.
NVIDIA is also big in the data center market.
They supply GPUs and other technology to large data centers, where many AI and cloud systems run.
Well-known customers include Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. This sector is growing rapidly. NVIDIA is also active in the professional market.
They supply technology for professional visualization, such as design and architecture. They work with companies like Autodesk and Adobe, as well as universities and research institutes. In the automotive industry, NVIDIA is an important player with their technology for self-driving cars.
Mercedes-Benz and Volvo are well-known customers in this area.
Finally, NVIDIA is active in other sectors such as healthcare, robotics, and financial technology. In short, NVIDIA's customers are in various sectors, from gaming to data centers, and from automotive to medical technology. This shows the versatility of NVIDIA technology and the strength of the company in different markets. This broad customer base ensures that NVIDIA is not dependent on a single sector. This makes the company less sensitive to market fluctuations and ensures stability and growth. It is important to know that NVIDIA operates in a competitive market, with various players also active in the technology sectors where NVIDIA is present. In terms of hardware, AMD is the biggest direct competitor. AMD also produces GPUs for gaming and data centers, but NVIDIA's GPU technology is still leading and ahead. Intel is another competitor in the CPU market, and they are also trying to become stronger in the GPU field. Additionally, there are indirect competitors such as Google, Microsoft, and Amazon Web Services, who develop their own AI software and cloud infrastructure. They compete in the AI and cloud services sectors. Although NVIDIA certainly has competition, the technological advantage that NVIDIA currently has is significant. NVIDIA's GPUs are unmatched in speed and performance, making it difficult for competitors to match NVIDIA's performance. This advantage is not only due to the GPUs but also to the strong ecosystem that NVIDIA has built and the software tools that NVIDIA offers. The combination of hardware and software is therefore difficult to match. NVIDIA has invested heavily in R&D for years, resulting in the technology where NVIDIA stands today. It takes a lot of time and resources to catch up. Although competitors are working to catch up, it will take years before the competition is at the same level as NVIDIA. It is good to keep an eye on the competition, but at the moment, NVIDIA is the undisputed leader in GPU technology, and the lead that the company has is still enormous. In recent years, NVIDIA has shown tremendous revenue growth, and this has not gone unnoticed in the financial world. The demand for NVIDIA's technology has increased significantly, and this is reflected in the numbers. Both in the gaming sector, as well as in data centers and the AI sector, we see strong revenue growth. NVIDIA's results show increasingly higher revenues year after year. Not only has revenue increased, but profitability has also improved significantly. This is due to the strong demand for NVIDIA products, but also due to more efficient ways of working. NVIDIA is generating more profit with the same resources. This impressive growth in revenue and profit has not gone unnoticed in recent years. Investors and analysts have become increasingly positive about the company. The growth is not just the result of a single factor. It is a combination of NVIDIA's position in various markets, the strong technological lead, and the increasing demand for NVIDIA's products and services. It is important to keep in mind that this growth is not guaranteed. NVIDIA must continue to innovate and defend its market position. But given the developments of recent years, it is clear that NVIDIA has shown impressive growth and has the potential to continue this in the future. The growth in revenue and profit of NVIDIA shows that the company is at the top of several important technological developments. It is a success story that offers an interesting opportunity for many investors. Since the IPO, NVIDIA has had an impressive journey. The stock price of NVIDIA has risen significantly in recent years. This is the result of strong revenue and profit growth, and the position NVIDIA has acquired in the technology world. However, the price increase has also led to a higher price-earnings ratio. The PE ratio shows what investors are willing to pay for a share of the company's profit. A high P/E ratio can mean that the market has high expectations of the company. It is important to emphasize that a high P/E ratio is not necessarily a bad thing. It shows that investors are willing to pay a higher price for the stock, expecting that profits will rise further in the future. But a high P/E ratio can also mean that the stock is potentially overvalued. This means that the risk of a price correction may be somewhat higher. Despite the high P/E ratio, Nvidia's stock has shown significant growth in recent years. This growth is the result of Nvidia's strong position in the AI market, data centers, and the gaming world. These are markets with great growth potential. It is important to consult the most recent stock charts and financial reports yourself to determine whether Nvidia's stock is attractive for your investment strategy. Nvidia's stock has risen explosively in recent years, and there are great expectations for the future. What the future will bring exactly is, of course, still unclear. Let's now list the pros and cons of Nvidia stock, so you get a good picture of the strengths and weaknesses of this stock. On the positive side, we see that Nvidia has several strong assets. First of all, Nvidia is the market leader in GPUs. They are dominant in the gaming world and provide the hardware that is essential for data centers. Nvidia is also a leader in AI, and their GPUs play a crucial role in developments in artificial intelligence. Nvidia also shows strong financial growth, both in revenue and profit. The company also invests heavily in R&D, allowing them to continue innovating and stay ahead of the competition. Another important advantage is the strong software ecosystem that Nvidia has built. This creates a so-called lock-in effect and makes Nvidia's technology difficult to match. And finally, Nvidia is also a diverse company, with customers in various sectors. This makes them less dependent on one sector. On the other hand, there are also downsides to consider. An important point is the high valuation of the stock, which increases the chance of a price correction. Nvidia also operates in a competitive market with major players such as AMD and Intel, but there is also a lot of competition in the AI world. In addition, Nvidia is dependent on technological developments and economic factors such as the demand for chips and the general economy. And finally, there are political risks that can negatively affect the supply of products. 5. In short, Nvidia has several strong assets, such as market leadership, growth in AI, strong financial growth, a strong software ecosystem, and diversification. But there are also risks, such as the high valuation, competition, dependence on technology, and economic factors. It is important to carefully consider both sides if you want to invest in Nvidia stock.